Hi everyone, I'm JP and welcome to this channel, where all we talk about is lizards, for the most part. Now I want to continue a mini-series of doing videos about my geckos. Now I do have a few different species of geckos, but in this video, obviously as you know by the title, we're gonna focus on my Pictus Geckos. First, I always enjoy sharing where do I get my my animals from, especially if I highly recommend that breeder. And of course, the breeder is Wally Kern from Supreme Gecko. And the star of this video is, of course, me. No, it's not me. But, of course, is my Pictus Gecko. Now, this is Bacon. This is my female Pictus Gecko. Check her out. She is gorgeous. And she's actually getting a lot bigger. And to be honest, I think she's actually gravid. I'm not exactly sure, to be honest. Now, I'm not exactly sure, but I can kind of see little lumps on the sides of her stomach. And normally that is an indication of eggs. So because of this, I do not want to, to hold her too much. I'm gonna go ahead and put her actually in her setup. Now, I do not know for sure that she is actually gravid or not. I try not to handle them too much because it's obvious that they do not want to be handled. But even if she is, well, not necessarily gravid, but developing eggs, they're not fertile because I have not put them together. Now, I did get a pair because I actually thought about breeding them, but I do not have the space and I do not have the time right now to breed, at least not at the moment, to breed these guys. So that's actually why I did not pair them together. So if she lays eggs, they're gonna be infertile. So I'm gonna go ahead and put her in her setup. I actually cannot show you the male because he has a tendency of going inside of one of his hides, and it is a fake tree. And the hide actually has like a hole all the way to the top, very, very small, and he likes to go in there during the day. No idea why, but that's what he likes to do. So the only way to get them out would be by force, and I'm not going to do that, even though this is a video about them. But I do have a few videos about them, eating and just being there. And of course I'm gonna go ahead and share those with you guys, because of course there's no point of making a video and not show the lizards that we're talking about. That never happens here. But in this video, I do want to focus more on the setup. And, as I said, I did not pair them together, which means that they are actually separated. I do not keep them together. So therefore, I'm going to show you the two setups, actually, not just one. All right, well, as I said, I do have them separated. And this is the setup for my male. This guy has been here already for quite a few months. And the setup hasn't changed at all. Actually, everything that I put it, okay, the same way that I put it the first time, I left it, because normally what I try to do is see if they use the stuff that I put in there, whatever, even if it's rocks or just a hide, and he's basically using everything. So the way that I set it up, it's the way that I left it. Okay. Now these geckos are small, so normally they are actually kept in tubs. Now I don't have anything against tubs, but they're not for me, and they're not for my reptiles. It doesn't really matter how small they are, unless they were babies like hatchlings, then maybe I would put them in tubs. But these guys are already a few months old, and Crispy, my male, he's actually close to a year old. So this has been his setup, and it's not going to be his setup forever, because I actually have an idea to keep them in the same tank but separated. But until I figure it out, how to do it, then there's no point of discussing that. But alright, let's get to details of the tank. Now this is Exoterra. The substrate that I am using is actually a mix of wash clay sand with organic topsoil, and as you can see, I actually threw basically just a little bit everywhere, a little bit of moss, because that actually helps with humidity. Now these guys are from Madagascar, so they do need the humidity a little bit higher normally than most of the terrestrial geckos. So what I actually do is that in this setup, I mist daily, but lightly. I try to make sure that it doesn't go above 60. And even, for example, right now that it's in the afternoon, it usually doesn't go below 40. Now, even if it does, that doesn't really matter, because at night, the humidity will rise. And in the morning, before I go to work, I mist. For heat, I do have a UTH, obviously connected to a thermostat, and in the moment it is actually not on, because it only turns on at night when they are active. At the moment, I don't see the point of having it on, so I don't have it on 24/7. It's actually just at night. It will turn on, if I remember correctly, at around 8, and will turn off at 8 in the morning. So at the moment, it is 80 degrees right here, but the thermostat is set to 90 degrees. So it does get to 90 degrees there, and yes, he actually does bask. Now, I cannot say that he does it every night, because obviously I'm sleeping, but I have seen him there normally when I come here before I go to work. So I only have 2 heights, and this is definitely the one that he uses the most. This is the one that he always goes in there during the day. If I try to look him up, if I try to look for him, it's a for sure that he will always be there during the day. Now he still uses that, and he actually does climb all around and everything. The only thing that I don't think I have seen is him going inside of this. Now I actually put it for this reason, because I knew for a fact that he was going to climb on it, but I thought that he was gonna go inside, and I have not seen him doing that. But even if he doesn't, it is something, even if it's small, to climb. Now these rocks, I did put them like that on purpose. This is actually basically a mini hide, and yes, he also does actually use it. And of course, the last 2 things is a water dish and a feeding dish. Now it's pretty obvious which one is which. This obviously now this I don't really clean it a lot, just normally when I see that it has already too much calcium there, I do clean it, and it is looking like it's about to need that clean. So the setup is like I said, pretty simple. At the moment, this is just the way that I have it. Once I do have more room, like I said, they're both gonna go into a much bigger tank, which I'm kind of hoping that it's gonna be a 40-gallon tank, but will still be separated. So this is one way of keeping a Pictus gecko. This is how I had it, and like I said, I haven't changed anything, because I'm seeing that everything is being used. Now, what would I change here is definitely add a background, or 2 or 3, like all around, because these guys are great at climbing. Now this is the setup that I definitely like the least, and the only reason why I'm actually using this tank is simply because I didn't have any other. It's simply because I didn't have any other. The only other empty tank that I had was a 40-gallon tank, which I thought would be a little bit too big, and I only had a very small 5-gallon tank, and I did not want any of my lizards in that tank. But these are very small lizards, so obviously this is a much bigger space than what they're normally kept on. Like I said, they're normally kept in a tub, and you know, it is, even if it's a long tub, it's not going to be as high as a tank like this. So if I remember correctly, this is a 12 by 20 by 12. But also, like I said, you know, I do plan on changing their setup, but this is the way that I have it. Now, I tried to go different with this setup. Now, I wanted to see if it would make any difference in using basically just a few big rocks, like to make a big hide, and actually creating basically like a second level for her. It is obviously also basically like a cave. These rocks are separated from the glass, so she is able to go, you know, behind it and all around it. And one time I actually found her between the rocks, which actually kind of scared me. She cannot move it. You know, obviously I can do it if I use enough force, but she will never be able to move it. And you know, aside from that, I also do have another small hide, because I did want it to put a hide basically on the cooler side. And she actually does use this, and she does hide a little bit more in the day. So you know, this is what she uses to hide when she's gonna go to sleep. Just right now, you know, she's over there because I woke her up. But you know, since this hide is okay, but since there's no small holes on this hide, you know, she was much easier to get than the male. I am using the same substrate. You know, it is topsoil and washed clay sand. Now, they are also normally kept only on sand, but I feel like sand doesn't really help me to maintain the humidity. So that's why normally I try to use organic topsoil, and normally I try to add a little bit of you know, something like eco earth or moss, like in my male tank. Now, I do have also a water dish and a feeding dish, and yes, this is for, you know, 4 cats, but that doesn't really matter. I mean, the point is that it is a dish that is not too tall, and it's actually wide enough for her to climb in there, and then, you know, get whatever feeder I throw in there. And well, this is the setup for my female. Now, you know, if this was for something big like a leopard gecko, I would actually say that there is very little space, but for a small gecko like a Pictus gecko, I feel like this is perfect. And you know, like I said, you know, if there was one thing that I would change, it would be you know, in this setup, is that I would put a background. Now, I don't know if I would put one in this setup, because since this is a fish tank, I have no choice but to open it from the top. I still want to use you know, a front door opening setup for her, so I'm kind of hoping that I will find you know, even if it's another small Exoterra like this one, cheap, because to be honest, I don't want to buy a new one. I just don't see the point of it. Now, the only difference is that in this setup, I actually mist every other day, because since this is a fish tank, you know, there is a less ventilation than in the Exoterra. So because of that, the humidity does take longer to go down, and as you can see, the humidity right now, it is actually at 60%. Now, this is normally what I want it to be, the highest for these geckos, and so because of that, you know, I do leave it another day without misting, so that it goes down to 40 or even a little bit less. And it does happen, you know, I have been doing exactly the same thing since I got her, since I noticed that the humidity takes longer to go down, and that's simply what I've been doing. You know, you have to adjust sometimes to you know, the kind of setup that you have. It's not going to be the same always. So it's obviously not the same for a fish tank than for you know, an Exoterra. But alright, I wanted to show this two different kind of setups, because you know, this is what I've been using and it's been working. But do I find this to be the perfect setup for them? No, I do not. So that's why I will change it in the future. But for now, this is what I have. I still wanted to give you guys an update on them. And well, I guess that's gonna be all for this video. Okay. Well, alright guys, like I said, that's gonna be all for this video. So like always, I do want to say thank you so much for watching, and I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I'm hoping that you guys enjoyed those feeding videos. I always enjoy feeding all of my lizards, but these guys, you know, for being geckos, they are very fun to feed. So if you guys did enjoy it, please make sure to give it a like, and please subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you next week.